Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lead with Love podcast with Dr. Q, where we talk about love, leadership, and real life lessons that actually matter. And if you're here right now, it is by no accident. You're exactly where you need to be. And guess what today is?
Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day. What is it?
Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day, because there will be no other day that I will be able to convince my children and my mother to be here on this podcast. So before we get into today's episode, Niall
Happy Mother's Day to every mom who's listening.
and Langston.
Whether you are leading a classroom, a company, a nonprofit, or a household, and most of you are leading all of the above. I see you. I respect you. And we love you too.
Yeah, Mommy.
Motherhood is the original Lead with Love training ground. Every patient you've practiced, every sacrifice you have made, every time you put someone else's growth before your own comfort, that's leadership.
It is leadership. And so today's episode is completely dedicated to every mom who leads with love every single day, even when nobody is watching and even when nobody says thank you. So we want you to know that we see you, we honor you. Now, let's get in it. Bye, y'all. Thank you. I love you so much. So last week, I asked a very, very important question. At the end of the episode, I asked you, what are you holding on to that actually belongs to someone else? And I hope that you were able to sit with that. I hope it was a little uncomfortable, because discomfort is usually where the real work starts. And this week, we are getting practical on this Mother's Day episode, because here's what I know about leaders. Most of us can admit, not all of us, but most of us, if we're honest, at least in our most honest moments, that we hold on too tight, that we control too much, that we are the bottleneck in our organizations. Most of us actually know this, but knowing it and doing something about it are two completely different things. And the reason most leaders never make the shift from knowing to doing is not a lack of desire. No, it's not that they don't want to. It is a lack of structure. They want to empower their people. They just don't know how to build a system that makes empowerment real and sustainable. That is what this episode is about. Not inspiration, not conviction, practical, specific systems that actually distribute leadership, so that surrendering success becomes a structure in your organization, a structure that the organization kind of lives inside of, and not just a one-time, act of courage that fades by the next Monday morning. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And by the end of this episode, you're going to have 3 very concrete structures that you can actually put in place in your organization to move from doing everything yourself, having all the weight here, to genuinely empowering people around you. We're going to be talking about committees and collaborative hiring and layered leadership. The 3 systems that I used as a leader that completely changed everything for me. All right, so let's jump in. Now, have you ever heard the saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions? Okay, so let me start with something that I see constantly in my coaching work. A leader gets inspired. They go to a conference. Maybe they listen to a podcast. Maybe they listen to this one. Maybe they have a conversation with another leader and they decide that they are going to start empowering their people more. They are going to delegate more. They are going to loosen up the grip. And for about a week, maybe 2, they do. They loosen it up. They step back a little. They let someone else run a meeting. They resist the urge to jump in and fix it. And then something goes sideways. A decision gets made that they would not have made, or a process is followed imperfectly, or, oh, this is the worst one, a deadline is missed. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, I'll take it back. And the leader who genuinely wanted to surrender, they grabbed the wheel. Jesus, we're going to take this wheel back from you. I do that because it feels safer, because at least when they're controlling it, they know what they're getting. Don't take the wheel away. And then, because this is what happens, the team learns a lesson when you take the wheel, that the empowerment wasn't real, that it was just temporary, that it was only going to last until things got hard. And then you're going to take control back. So they stop trying, they stop bringing their initiative, and they go back to waiting to be told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. This is why intention is not enough. Surrendering success has to be systematized. If there's not a system for it, it won't get done. It has to be built into the culture so that it is not dependent on anybody's mood or stress level on any given day. It has to be structural. Please don't miss this. So let me give you 3 structures that made surrender real for me on my campus as a principal. But this works anywhere, okay? So structure number 1, committees with real power. For the people in the back, real power. Not committees that just advise, not committees that give up or they give input that the leader will probably ignore. Committees that actually make decisions about actual things that actually affect the organization. And here is how I implemented that. I aligned committees to our major like operational areas: culture, committees around culture, instruction, and operations, and family engagement. And I kept it to no more than about 6 to 8 committees, so we didn't dilute the focus. And here is the part most leaders miss. I let people choose which committee they joined based on their interests, based on their expertise, based on their talent, not where I needed a warm body, where they actually wanted to contribute. That was the game changer. And then I gave them real decision-making power, not advisory roles, decision-making power. Their committee's decisions were the decisions, unless there was a significant reason to bring it back to leadership. I embedded their meeting time with time into the work that they did every single day, so they weren't being asked to lead on their personal time. And I had committees report out at the staff meetings so that their work was visible and they were held accountable for it, not just from me, but from their peers. You want to know what happened? People start owning the outcomes. They had never owned them before. They started solving problems. I used to be the one to solve the problems by myself. And when something in their area went sideways, they fixed it because it was theirs. Yeah. Structure number 2, collaborative hiring. The people that you hire are the most important decision that you will make as a leader. Who you hire is the most important decision you make as a leader. And yet, most leaders make that decision almost entirely by themselves. That is a missed opportunity, and it is also a missed investment. Y'all, it is hiring season. Please listen. When I formed a hiring committee, I identified 4 to about 6 people from different roles across the organization. The people I would clone if I could. I had candidates present to the committee, not just to me. They presented to the whole committee. I gave committee members equal voice in the decision. And when challenges came up with a new hire later on, because they do, and they always do, the people who participated in hiring felt personally invested in that person's success. Y'all, what are we going to do to help them? Because we hired them. Because they not just hired them, they vouched for them. So collaborative hiring does two different things. It makes a decision better because you have more perspectives, and it distributes the ownership of the new team member across your organization. So that onboarding, mentoring, and support don't just fall in the lap of the leader. No, it falls with the organization. Structure number 3, layered leadership. Now, here is something that I believe in very, very, very deeply. Everybody leads, no matter who you are or where you're leading from, whether they have a title or not a title, whether you intended to or not. Leadership is just influence. And the most influential people in the organization may not be the ones that are in formal roles. Your job is to find those people, the ones that other people naturally go to for advice, for help, or for perspective, and invite them into real leadership. You want to see some things change. Not just lead a team, titles, no, actually decision-making circles, actual access to planning conversations, because their influence is going to make a difference. I remember I recruited these people directly. I would go, I created roles for them. I had people apply, but I also looked beyond the applicants to the influencers who would never apply because nobody had ever asked them to. I brought them into inner circles for planning, and where I could, I compensated them. Don't forget to compensate them. Or I gave them professional development duties, reduced duties in other areas, or public recognition that reflected what they were actually contributing. I acknowledged them in public. What this is distributing influence intentionally, so that leadership is not a one-person show. It's a culture, and cultures of leadership outlast the leader who actually built them. They keep going, and that is what we want. Listen, here's a hard truth. If your organization cannot function without you for 2 weeks, that is not a testament to your commitment. That is evidence that you have not built anything beyond yourself. And a leader who builds nothing beyond themselves has not led. They've only occupied space. Ooh, ouch, that hurt. Ooh, that hurt me too. I have to be honest with you all about how this actually goes in real life. You are not going to implement all 3 of these structures perfectly next week. And that's okay. It's okay. I want you to just start with one. Just pick one. If you have been meaning to form a committee, form it this month. Pick one operational area. Identify the people. Give them some real power and a real timeline. Then get out of the way. Get out of the way. If you have a hire coming up, bring 3 people into the process. Have the candidate present to them. Ask for their read, and actually let it influence the decision that you make. If you know there is a leader in your building who has never been formally recognized as one, go and have that conversation this week. Tell them what you see. Ask if they are interested in leading something. One structure this month. And then watch what happens when your people discover that ownership was always available to them. They just needed someone to offer it. Before I let you go, lead with love. 8 heart-centered strategies for exceptional leadership, available on Amazon. The Audible is coming. I promise it is. Chapter 3 is Surrender Success, and it walks through every one of the structures that I've talked about in full detail with implementation guides for you. If you're serious about making the shift, the book will be your blueprint. So please get it, y'all. Next week, we're going to be talking about collaborative decision making and how to present real dilemmas to your team. Invite genuine debate. I had a leader that said, mind the field, right? He used to say that, and build a kind of trust that comes from being outvoted sometimes. It is one of the most important and most avoided leadership practices out there. So you do not want to miss it, okay? Surrendering success is not a moment. It is a system. It is something that you build into the structure of how your organization operates. So that on your best days and on your worst days, your people are still leading, still owning, but more importantly, they're still growing. You built this organization. Now build the leaders inside of it, because the best thing that you will ever do as a leader is not the work you accomplish. No, it's the leaders that you left behind. So I think that's it, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining me, and happy Mother's Day. And my heart goes out to anyone that's lost a mother. Listen, we love you and we're here with you. So thank you for being here. If today's message spoke to you, share it with a leader who is drowning in doing, because the systems in this episode could change their lives. So don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss episode 20 next week, collaborative decision making. And remember, leading with love is not a one-time decision. It is a daily choice. So until next time, be well and lead with love.